Hey, 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 everybody. It's Tanya Smith here of Stream Like a Boss TV. I am super excited, but also a little anxious tonight, and I'll share why in just a second. First of all, I want to welcome all of you. If this is your very first time ever being here at the show, then I want you to type in a hashtag newbie. And if you've been here before, you're family now. So I want you to type in a hashtag OG. Look, the reason why I do this live stream each and every week, we do miss a few weeks. Hey, we got to take a break sometime. But most Thursdays, I'm here either by myself, solo, or I might be here with a guest, and we're talking a little bit about how to use live stream marketing and video content to really build your brand. So if you're trying to serve more people, if you want to stand out online, if you want to sell more of your services, who we often talk to in our audience tend to be coaches, course creators, any type of service providers who have that heart-centered, heartfelt, nurturing feeling, right? You're the ones that are out there serving the people. You're the ones out there doing the thing. So I'm super excited. And Dan, hilarious, of course. Look, I see a bunch of OGs in the house. So let me pop up some comments real quick. But then I got to share with you a little bit about, I'm not going to say anxiety, but share with you what the topic of the show is. As a matter of fact, let me do that first. And then I definitely want to say hello and acknowledge several people that I see that are here in the feed. Look, the thing is, what we're doing tonight is something that's a little different. So you will not recognize this as the same show that we do all the time. What I'm going to be doing a little differently here is I am doing back-to-back, I'm batch content creating in front of you. Like you're my live studio audience because I don't know if you knew this, but I'm doing 3 podcasts right now. I'm actually building 3 podcasts in addition to serving clients, in addition to working a full-time job, in addition to managing a household, actually a couple of households, one overseas. There's stuff. So I have not been able to find time to batch my content. And specifically, I wanted to batch some content for my App Therapy Club podcast. So you get to sit in on App Therapy Club, which if you're like, what the heck is that? What it is, and you'll see in just a second, I'm going to do my little intro video, but I promise I won't make you listen to that or watch it every time. But this podcast is really designed to help those of you who are like me, appaholics, where we are buying software that we can use to really be more efficient and productive in our businesses. Now, of course, we have to kind of manage that and we should be using only tools that truly are going to add to our life or add to our business. They're adding value, not taking away from our pocketbooks or creating more time wasted, but really giving us productivity. So tonight, I want to talk to you about 4 specific apps. And I actually realized that 2 of them are on time-sensitive lifetime deals. So let me break down how I'm going to do this. And then I do want to say hello to folks that are in the chat. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to literally, I know my name is Michelle and I'm an appaholic, right? I'm going to, I have notes. So I promise you, I'm going to try to keep it to about 10 to 15-ish minutes for each app. So we'll still stay within our normal hour or so for a live stream. But for each of the apps, I'm going to give you a thorough review. I'm going to give you the overview. I'm going to talk about features and functions. I'm going to talk about the benefits, the downsides of each of them. And for those of you who know me, you know that I'm going to be honest with you. So even if I support and recommend these, I'm going to give you the things that you need to watch out for and some of the things that I don't necessarily love at this time. So I will be honest with you and tell you exactly what I think, like my real thoughts. And I want to hear from you. So if any of these apps sound familiar to you, I want to hear from you as well. Let me say hello to some folks that are in the chat. I'm going to then share a list. So I'm going to do the reveal up front and show a list of the 4 that we're going to talk about. And then I will dive in. And when I do each of these video reviews, I'm doing them like each of them is separate. Why? Because I'm actually building the plane while I'm flying. So I'm actually creating the podcast content so it will be easy for me to strip out and create 4 different episodes from tonight's live. So that's what batching is, in case anyone was curious about what that's about. All right. It's good to see you. Look, let me say hi to everybody, and then I'm going to give you that list. How about that? This is going to be fun. I promise. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so let's pop up and say hello to some folks. First of all, Dan, the only AI I like is R2D2. Well, I'm still a fan of Star Wars too, so we, of course, are siblings. We always knew that. Scott Benedict, what's going on? Hashtag OG in the house. I love it. Valerie Harris is in the house. Wonderful to see you. I know you're back from your trip to Africa. Good to see you back. Michelle is also an OG. She says the volume is a little low. I think maybe turn it up on your laptop, because I think I'm good. It looks like it's good on my end. So if anybody else is suffering from low volume, let me know that too, just in case there's an issue. Okay, Dan, WG, hot mess. You need to put HM for hot mess. I know, Michelle, I'm an alcoholic. Tech troublemaker, it is wonderful to see you here. AI is amazing, and that's why I want to talk about these tools. Now, it's amazing, and it also has some downsides to it too, but the ones I'm going to show you tonight are really, they're time savers. They're helping from an efficiency standpoint. They're saving money. I know, Valerie, right? Good evening, good evening. There she is. I love it. Yeah. Roy, look, if it wasn't for the fact that I needed and had to do it, I probably wouldn't do it. But I was like, I need to get this stuff done. So we're just going to make this happen. And I'm going to use my live stream time to do it because I love the energy. I love that you all are here with me. Alicia Thomas in the house. What's up? Look, girl, I got to give you DJ Airhorn for everybody that is here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Stephanie Miller said this is right on time. Okay, y'all. All right. So look, I am with you, Latara. YouTube is probably going to be the hot spot. That's where my folks hang out. So if you're watching on a different channel and you want to kind of hang out in the comments and see everybody else's comments, maybe the best place for you to be is definitely over on YouTube. So YouTube, just type in Stream Like a Boss and you'll find me, or you can go to YouTube at Tanya Smith. You'll find me under my name. Okay, are we ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Let me share the list. I'm going to give you the sneak peek list. And I had 2 more, but I was like, no, I got to stop. I can't go over an hour and a half. So I'm going to give you the 4 that we're going to focus on tonight. Okay, these are the 4. So MVO, we're going to talk about MVO first. Yeah, I think I have MVO up first. So we'll do that first. I'm going to talk about sessions, which some of you have already heard me talk about previously. It is my favorite booking and meeting tool and workshop tool as well. So I love that. Let's do this real quick here. Okay, there we go. Marky for social media posts, and I'll explain a few things about that one because there's some things I like and there's some things I don't necessarily like, but we're going to talk it through. And then Castmagic, which of course, again, some of you have been on the show when we had someone from the Castmagic staff actually come. So Greg Wasserman, his awesome self, came on and just blew my mind with a whole bunch of different tips about how to use Castmagic. So now I'm truly using it to the fullest, and I need to talk about that. Okay? All right, so that's what we're going to do tonight. And I'm going to start off initially with this little short intro video. But again, I'm not going to make you sit through that every segment. However, I am going to do a little bit of a slight intro before every segment because I need to do that for purposes of the podcast. But you're my live studio audience, so you can chit chat in the chat. I am paying attention to you. I will respond and acknowledge you and all of that. Okay? I'm really here with you right now. Okay, unless you're watching the replay and it's not Thursday the 18th, then I'm not here with you right now. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to go straight into, let me make sure I move a couple of things here with my scenes. And I have my mind map ready with my notes, and I've got all the links up. I think there's one page I need to pull up really fast. We're going to get this thing rolling. If you've got any questions whatsoever, just holler and let me know. But we will start with MVO. I might need to get a little sip of water. Oh, and before I do that, let me show y'all something that's really cool. This is pretty fun. So for my Stream Bosses Academy members, check this out, y'all. Look what came in today. I got my first sample of my new gear, my new merch, Stream Bosses Academy. What? You can't read it really well right there. Let's see. Can I get it to pull up? Come on, pull up. Ah, okay. Just had to show that off because I'm getting ready for some things. We open the doors again on Monday, the 22nd. I'm super excited about that. Okay, now, are we ready? Let's dive in. I know, Michelle, it's so awesome. I know. Okay. Getting calm. Going to go ahead and send us into App Therapy Club. You ready? Let's go.
Welcome to App Therapy Club, a place for part-time creators and coaches like you. Join your host, Tanya Smith, founder of Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV, to learn about online tools and smarter ways to make great content even when you're short on time or resources. Now let's get into the show.
All righty, everybody. We're going to be talking about MVO right now. MVO is an awesome AI tool that I recently stumbled upon because of who? The folks inside of my Stream Bosses Academy. I literally was trying to hold back. I was like, no, I don't need another video clipper platform. Why? Why on earth would I want to invest in that when I have so many? I've got Content Fries, I use Opus, I use Video AI. Why would I need yet another one? But there were a couple of people inside of the Academy that were talking about MVO and saying, hey, you need to check this out. Go see it for yourself. This is working great. Nicolette Barrett is one of them from iRock Resumes. She said her team fell in love with it. So I thought, okay, I guess I need to check this thing out and find out what's going on. So for overview purposes, I'm going to share this. It is an app that allows you to basically take longer form video content and to make it bite-sized. So basically to clip it out using artificial intelligence, using AI, it clips it down into smaller video bites. Now, if you have a short already, what it can do for you with that is to caption it, and it beautifully captions your video clips in a way that is super creative. It can be well branded, and I just think it's simply awesome. So I'm definitely going to be checking this out real quick here for you. I know I see that note from Talk Virtual. What's up, Erica Bates in the house? Yeah, there's so many different types of platforms out there, but this one is newer. And there's a reason why I want to definitely share it with you tonight, because this one is actually on sale via AppSumo right now. So you'll find my link right here. So the AS is for AppSumo. The reason why I'm telling you this is because very soon it's going to be gone. I'm not sure how many days. I think it will show. We can try to pull it up while we're here. We'll pull it up and make sure that you know the days that it's going to be up. But it's a lifetime deal, and it is super easy to use. So I'm going to share some pros and cons. I'm also going to share some comparisons because I literally have used just about every possible video clipper tool out there that you can think of. ClipScribe, including all the ones I just named to you just a few seconds ago. So let's go ahead and take a peek real quick here at MVO. I'm going to pull it up for us so you can take a look, and I will walk you through some of the things that I think are great, and then a few things that I'm kind of like, let's see. We'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. Do our screen share real quick here. So this is their main page. This is MVO and their main page right here. And again, as I mentioned, the purpose of this particular platform is to transform your long form videos into clips that are ready to share on social media. And really all of us, aren't we, are trying to look for ways that we can create and repurpose better content. So one of the things that is absolutely essential and critical these days is to have different variety when it comes to your video clips. You want to have all sizes. You want to have the longer form, you want the short form, you want the medium size or mid size that you can upload, you can do live stream. There's any number of different ways that you can actually do video. And so with this just gives you another extra added tool that you can use. Now, if you have a favorite tool that you prefer in this moment, I want you to pop that into the chat. If there's a tool that you're using right now to repurpose and to clip your longer form video content down into short form, go ahead and pop that into the chat. I want to see what you're using right now. And then I'm going to give you some thoughts that I have around the difference in this particular one, but you'll notice that it has on their advertisement. So on their homepage, it talks a little bit about subtitles. And this is, look, a lot of these things are some of the features that a lot of these different video clipping tools have right now, right? So accurate subtitles, auto framing, auto emojis, magic B-roll, background music. That's something different. And then, of course, your ability to be able to post and schedule to Instagram, TikTok, etc. I'm going to show you the back end of mine in just a few seconds so that you can see that. But what I absolutely have appreciated about these type of tools is the fact that let me compare this, okay? Because before AI became really super popular and I was using tools that would allow me to clip my videos, this includes content fries, okay? Before they were using or really leveraging AI, what would happen is you go in to your long form video. Well, you pull your long form video and you would potentially go and try to figure out, well, where do I want to clip? And you're going to put maybe your chapters in, timestamps, and figure out, okay, well, how do I get this to where it's going to be a relevant clip that's going to mean something to anyone, right? And it just took a lot of time. It was a big waste of time. If I told you right now how I was working around and doing mathematical calculations and all kinds of things, y'all, I was doing crazy math, trying to figure out exactly how to get the timing right. Okay. And what I realized now with AI merged with these different types of platforms is that you don't have to do that anymore because the artificial intelligence machine is basically going in and finding those relevant points for you. It's become intelligent. It's an intelligent clip is what they call it on video AI. So I want to show you the back end of this particular one. MVO, so that you can kind of see and get a feel for what it looks like on the back end and why I think I actually like it and it's a keeper. So I mentioned to you, and I'll pop this up one more time, I mentioned to you that this particular one is on AppSumo currently. So it is up for a lifetime deal, meaning you can go and purchase it once and be done. That is a benefit in itself. So there's two particular platforms that I definitely want to mention, but this one has a lifetime deal going on right now. It is similar, as you may notice, when you see the back end, and I'm going to show you that right now. When you see the back end, it's kind of similar to apps like Opus. So I can literally go in here, for instance, and once I've imported my video, it's going to pull up what they call moments, okay? And so it's giving me suggestions for the different moments that it's taking from my video, and it's automatically captioning each of those moments. Now, when I uploaded the video, I told it, hey, I want you to just automatically generate clips between 30 to 60 seconds. The reason for this is because I typically tend to share my clips on YouTube Shorts, on TikTok, on Instagram and Facebook Reels. And so I want to keep them somewhere around 60 seconds or less, if at all possible, but I still want them to be relevant. So as it's going through and actually trimming my videos down, it's giving me clips that are relevant And what you have an opportunity to do, of course, is say, yeah, I like this one. No, I don't like that one. But you can download the ones that you want, or you can edit them. So there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. You can rate each one of them so that the AI continues to get better according to how you're ranking each of the video clips that it's creating. So here's something that I thought was cool. What you'll notice is that it will give you templates. It will give you the ability to be able to change the format to either portrait, which is typical. That's the default for me, landscape, or square. So if you need square content for any reason, you can actually create square video versions of your clips. In addition to that, it also will add background music, which is crazy because none of the ones I have right now will add that for me. They don't have a library of music included yet. I thought that that was pretty creative, and it's something that differentiates them. And the music's not bad. Now, it's not a crazy full library of stuff, but it's pretty appropriate, and it's royalty free, which is what we want because we don't want to get dinged on our videos, right? So that is pretty cool. The other thing that you can do is change your caption styles. So you've got different caption styles. As a matter of fact, let me go in and I'm just going to edit one. We can see what this looks like. But before I do that, it also gives you animation for your captions. So lots and lots of different options. When you get the clips that they've created as moments, then you can go in and change all of the different things that I just mentioned here. In addition, you'll see the full transcript right here, so you can actually make edits. And there have been times so far where I have seen the potential for grammatical issues, or not even grammar issues, but spelling errors, because it's not quite understanding the way that my country's Southern accent has pronounced a word. So I have to go in and make that edit, right? The other thing that you can do right here, and this is another differentiator, is that it has an AI, a built-in AI tool, so that you can prompt it for additional information. So look at this: write a 5 ways list article, write an article about that, write a promotional post for social media. So you can do additional content. You generate additional AI generated content right inside of this app where you're doing the video. The purpose for this, in my mind, is if there's additional caption ideas I want for a particular moment that they've created, or if there's something else that I want to create as I'm thinking about how I'm going to promote the different verticals that I'm putting together here inside of the app, I can do that right here and not have to go anywhere else. So that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing I'll share with you, let me actually go into one. Let me see if I have a project that I can share. Okay. So when you actually are creating these clips, and I haven't created very many yet, but as you're creating these different clips, when you do the edit and you go to the editor, you have some additional options here. So you're able to, for instance, update the transcript that it's pulled from. So you can extend this or you can shorten it depending on what you want to do. You can add an intro video clip. I have a permanent outro video that I've added to mine. I'll show you that in a second. Here's where you can add that music. You can actually change up your brand colors. You can do all kinds of things in this. You can actually even use something called B-roll. For those of you who know what B-roll is, I'm explaining this for the folks who don't. So, excuse me, when you would like to add B-roll, which is basically clips of video or imagery that is complementing the words that you're saying, you simply add that right here. You can even add GIFs or GIFs, depending on how you want to pronounce it, but through Magic Media. It also can automatically add emojis. Now, I'm not a big emoji overkill type of person, so I don't really love a bunch of emojis in my video clips, but you have that option if that's something you want to do. It can even also auto cut filler words. And this magic frame, I'll show you how that works. So here's where we're going to get into the things I like and don't like as much. If you're doing magic frame and you have 2 speakers, okay, what it will originally do, and let me do one that is not already complete. Let's see. I'm going to tell it to give me a moment, and it's going to have auto frame this with both speakers, myself and my guest, who happens to be James Hicks right here. And so notice that it's capturing, for me, it's too much of my graphics. And I really want to get the full image of that person. And even in this instance, let's look at this one. This is something that I'm not a huge fan of yet, but I think they're going to get better. I don't love how they have clipped this. So if it's magic framed, this is not neat enough for me. But here's what I do love is that I have the ability to be able to go in here and edit it, because now I can go right here and say, hey, I want you to crop this out a little bit more. Catch me right there. Crop him out a little bit more, get rid of the white lines, get rid of the graphics, right? And so now I can better center the two of us. Or if I decided I just wanted to remove myself altogether because he's the one talking in this particular clip, I can do that too. So you have the ability to be able to kind of maneuver this a little bit more. You can use the magic edit to also emphasize and highlight certain keywords. There's just a ton of things that I've found so far, and I've only been playing with it for a few days. Here's that intro, outro. So I added an outro video automatically right here, and that plays at the end of every single one of my clips that I create, but you can change it out and make it something different if you choose to do that too. But these turn out really beautifully, and here's the thing that I think is super awesome, and it's another differentiator for them at MVO than for some of the other similar platforms, and that's this. Some of you won't even get this until I explain why I'm saying this. When you export, you can post it to social media, which is excellent, because many of these similar platforms now are allowing you to schedule your video clips directly inside of the tool. I'm going to show you the calendar in a second. But then it gives you the ability to actually send your clip to your own phone. So you can text yourself the clip with your phone. Now, why is that important? That's important because a lot of times, if you test this, you're going to know, you're going to see if this works for you in your feed, but I've tested it myself. A lot of times I prefer to schedule using a third-party scheduling tool or platform. I usually use something called Vista Social. And when I do that, it just saves me time because I've got everything all laid out and I know what's going out for the week. And I don't have things crisscrossing and stepping on each other's toes in my feed. But when you post or share your content from within the native app, you have more of a likelihood of getting reach and boost from that social platform. So when you're exporting that video clip through your phone, now you get a couple of different benefits. One, you get the benefit of being able to edit further. So if you're someone who uses CapCut, or if you're someone who likes to use other types of tools to further edit or add filters or whatever it is that you might want to add, you can now do that from your phone and post from your phone. You can add music from your phone if you prefer the trending sounds versus using what they provide you inside of the tool. So it just gives you options. I just love that it gives me more variety, more options and availability. Yes, let me pop up some of these comments real quick so we can kind of see what you're thinking about this, because I'm curious if you have questions. Yeah, Valerie talks about loving the background music feature. I haven't seen that in any of the other platforms that do similar work, so that is pretty cool. Yeah, ideas are low quality. I'm not sure what you mean there, so you may have to give me some additional context right there. Oh, you meant SMS videos are lower quality? They don't have to be, though. And I've tested that, and mine are working out just fine. They're coming out with super nice quality. Let's see. Texting yourself clips is a nice feature. It is. It's an option. It's not something that everybody's going to do, but I have enjoyed having the ability to be able to do that if I choose to do so. All right. Let's see. I want to take a look at the social calendar. So let's show you that real fast here. I'm going to switch it on over. Now, I'm still getting used to a lot of this platform myself. One of the things you'll notice is that it does move a little bit slow, but that may simply be because, first of all, it's newer. But secondly, I have a lot of windows open, which is something I always do. Okay, so here's the social calendar. So once you've decided where you want to share your clips, so let's say, for instance, you're trying to build up visibility on YouTube and you want to post a YouTube short every day, well, you can go in there and create from your live stream, because this is what I do, from your live stream or from your longer form content, create multiple clips of videos from that episode, and then just have them all scheduled out for a week, every day for the week. How cool is that? And they just go on the date and time that you choose. So I think that that's pretty awesome. Now, as far as accounts that will let you or allow you to connect to, you can connect to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as TikTok. So any of the major platforms you have the ability to be able to connect to. Now, the one thing you definitely want to check for is the plan that you choose, because the plan that you choose will determine which of the or how many of those platforms you're able to connect to. So I'm going to pull up that plan. You'll see again right here, here's my MVO QR code. And I'm going to take you to the page where it is located right now so that you can see what the current plan is and when they're going off the market, being an LTD or a lifetime deal, because I don't want you to miss it if it's something you're thinking about doing, okay? Let's go find that link. MVO, I think I have AS MVO. That's what we're doing. Okay. Now, if the link is not working for you, let me know, because it's not working for me, but I'm going to make sure I get this pulled up for you right now. Okay, so we're going to AppSumo. So if my link doesn't work for you, I'm going to take you right there to where it should be, because I know it's still up. There it is. It ends in 6 days from the time of this recording. So let's pull up the screen share so you can see it. So here's MVO, $69, okay? So at the time of this recording, the base plan, which is tier 1, is $69. Now, what I did is I actually invested in tier 2, which is $129, but there's other tiers available. Let's take a look at the plan details. First of all, the reason why, whenever I go to AppSumo, if I'm looking for lifetime deals, I'm always looking for deals that have high ratings. They need to have pretty much a 5-star rating, or I'm just pushing it aside. I don't care or don't want to see it. This one, not only did I look at the reviews, I looked at the questions people were asking, and I looked at the rating, okay? And a lot of people had positive things to say about it, in addition to the fact that folks within my own community had good things as well. So notice that there are features that are included in all of the plans. The reason why I went to license tier 2 is because I wanted to have more video hours. My thought was, I need more than just 2. Okay. So depending on what you're going to need, you'll want to take a look at whether or not you need more than 1 user. What's the file upload size that you need? Because if you need up to 10 gigabytes, if your file size for your videos is really, really heavy, then you might want to think about a tier 3. But this is totally going to be a personal choice depending on your business needs. So this is MVO. And it includes all the things that I showed you, the AI moments, the magic edit. It is pretty fast with AI processing, although I will say the very first time I used it, it wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be, but maybe I'm just spoiled because of all the different apps I've used. The main thing that I can tell you I love about this particular app, besides the fact that it is on a lifetime deal right now, the main thing that I can tell you I like about it is the ability to be able to create short social posts from my long form content. And I love the caption features, which I didn't show you much of. So let me show you just a little bit of that. I'm going to screen share again real quick here. If we go into, let's go into one of the projects that I've already started. We can go right here and notice your captions over here. You have the opportunity to change up the brand, as I mentioned earlier, but you can change your music, and there is something. Where is it? Right there. So you have presets. So you can change fonts and you can make things look a little bit different. Let's click on that. And we'll switch up the colors. You can switch up the colors right there. You can change this. You can make those lines. You can change the line height. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. But I thought this was pretty fancy for it to be a lifetime deal. Heck yeah. It's a yes for me. I think so too. Stephanie said, it's a winner. It's a winner. Well, one of my cons, let me answer that question for you, Michelle. My con one is that I didn't necessarily think it was as fast as I would like it to be. But again, that may be just me. So I thought it was a little slower than I'd like for it to process. A second thing, and let me take a look at my notes because I wrote these for you. Oh, this is what I mentioned earlier. The magic clips, the framing of some of the magic clips is not the best. So the fact that I had to go in and take a little bit of extra time to edit, if you've got more than one speaker, that kind of threw me off a little bit because I thought, well, I just really, and again, me being spoiled, I just really wanted it to just like magically clip it and make it perfect. But it took me a couple extra seconds, as you saw, for me to go and to just clip it and crop it a little bit more to move my graphics out of the way. But other than that, I mean, I don't so far have anything that I would say is negative. So that's what I got. So if I wanted to give you a list of benefits, one, the lifetime deal. So let me pop that back up for you again. Make sure you have it. Yeah, I know, right? Valerie said the same thing. It's a bit slow. I just had to stop watching it. I know I had to stop paying attention, like leave it, let it go, leave it alone. Lifetime deal, easy to use interface because there are other platforms that have just a lot going on and it's much harder to learn how to use them and it's much harder to actually just make it go, right? So there are other platforms that have just chaos in the dashboard and it's going to take you forever to figure out where everything is. Even though it feels like it's a lot of features, that's great. But in the end, we want efficiency. We want production. We want to be moving quickly. And so I do like the fact that the interface of this app, similar to some of the other ones like Opus, is easy to use. It was fast to learn. I still have a few things I need to play around with, but I liked it a lot. I love the caption options. I was paying, I'm not going to tell you what I was paying, but for another app that just did captions only. I was paying for this other app that just did captions only, and it was more than the one-time lifetime deal for this. So I love that the captions are branded and that they have fun and funky fonts. And I love that you can actually add background music that's already built into this so that I don't have to worry about going and finding music. But I also love that I have the option to send this thing to my phone, use the trending audio or trending music if I choose to do that from my phone, and just go. Schedule, publish. So those are all things. Oh, and I always check out support because I want to give you the real deal on that too. So I will tell you that when I reached out to support, even though it took them a little bit of time, it wasn't instant, but it absolutely wasn't a whole day, wasn't even half a day. And I did receive a response, and it was a thorough, well thought out response. So we're good on customer support as well. All right. I hope that you'll check it out. And if you have any questions about that particular app, feel free to reach out and let me know. The name of the app is MVO. So at MVO.pro. And if you want to get the AppSumo deal, make sure that you go to the link that you see on the page. And if that's not working for you, because for a few seconds it didn't work for me, if it's not working for you, just go directly to AppSumo and look up MVO Pro, MINV as in Victor O.pro. All right. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for our MVO review. I hope you remember to hit the like button. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show. We love sending out information about different apps, and also over on our show at Stream Like a Boss TV, we talk about leveraging video marketing, video podcasting, anything to do with video. We're talking about that and how to help you use it to serve more people, stand out online, and sell more of your services. All right. Okay, folks. Are we ready for the next one? So that was number one. Dang. All right. Did anybody have any questions about that particular app? If not, I'm going to move us on to the next one. And like I said, I'm not going to do anything to make you go through the intro again. Our next app that we're going to review is called Sessions. And this is one of my favorites, favorite of all time. This one actually is something that I've been using quite a bit now in 2024 in particular, especially once I made a decision to move off of Zoom. This became kind of my new bestie. And I'll share with you some reasons why. So I do have some breakdown of a couple of things about this particular app. I'm going to pull that one up and get it ready for you. So let's do that. You do not have to suffer through my intro video again, so I won't do that to you. Let's pull that QR code. Okay. Just used it today. I know. Scott, right? 1 down, 3 to go. Phew. I got my fan here, y'all. It's ready for me. It's keeping me sane. All right, you're trying to set up sessions right now. Okay, so look, Erica, if you have questions about sessions, if there's anything I can help you with while here on the show, just pop it in the chat and I'll make sure to address that, okay? Promise. Okay, I'm moving MVO out of the way. I'm going to go to Sessions. Sessions does not, let me just give you all a heads up, does not currently have a lifetime deal. They did, and that's how I bought it, but they don't now. So I'm sorry if you missed out on that one. I did try to share it and to let people know. All right, so I'm going to go to my homepage on Sessions so that we have that ready for us for this next segment, okay? All right, so we're just going to pretend that we have the intro video that came on, and I'm going to lead us into Sessions. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're talking about today the Sessions app, and the Sessions app is a just game changer. If you're looking for any type of meeting app, a platform where you can host your webinars or workshops, a space where you can actually book people on your calendar, you can use it for yourself solo, or you can use it with teams, you can create multiple workspaces. Sessions might just be for you. I want to take a look at the Sessions app. I'm going to give you some behind the scenes, but I'm also going to share with you some of the things I love and some of the things I don't. There are downsides and positives, upsides to every single app out there. So I won't leave any of that out for you. I'll break this one down. Let's take a look at Sessions. So it is an AI-powered tool, and I'm going to get my screen share to pop up right there. So if you go to the Sessions page, sessions.us, or you can use my handy dandy QR code, which I think I just pulled up for you. Let me try that again. There you go. If you go to the Sessions app, you're going to find information about this tool. And basically what it allows you to do is to be able to host meetings. And so I'll say meetings and webinars. There are a few funky things, some glitchy things that I want to talk about as it relates to the webinars and events, but I think that these are slowly but surely coming together. And what I'll do is show you the back end of this, but this is their homepage, okay? So notice how it talks about product of the year, work from anywhere, join the Sessions revolution. Yeah, a whole lot of folks jumped on the bandwagon with Sessions when it came out, and there's a reason for that, because this thing is gold. Like, it's got so many different features, which you'll see when I show you the back end of mine in a second. But it says Ultra HD streaming. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna say foul, but I'm gonna say I don't know. But they do have, as of recently, they have implemented a live streaming function to Sessions. I'm going to test that, and I can tell you honestly if it is true HD. The reason why I'm questioning that, and this is going to be one of my cons, is that I don't, so far, see that the resolution of the replays and the recordings of my different videos and workshops and meetings, the resolution is not super high. It may get to 720, but I haven't seen it go beyond that. So I do see that there. Maybe it's coming, and I've heard them talk about working on it in their different town halls, but it's not there yet. Smart scheduling, yes. Workshops and webinars, yes. AI meeting assistant, absolutely. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Session engagement, yep. Chat, questions, polls, offers, all of that. Interactive agendas, absolutely 100%. And then real-time collaboration. So I will share with you some use cases for which I have used this particular app, but it does the things that it's saying it does. For the most part, it does, and it does them well, but it is still a newer company. So you just have to be a little bit patient because there have been some glitchy things. But one thing I can honestly tell you is that they have a very live and active community, both from a support standpoint and seeing other people's ideas and questions always helps you to know that a platform is working on getting better. What's up, David Hunt in the house? Hello, fam. All right. So yeah, all these things are definitely, in my mind, they are positives. I would highly recommend, if you're thinking about having a meeting app that can potentially replace your Zoom, this could be it. So all of the things that it says, with that one exception that I mentioned about the resolution, I think are really, really key. Now, I'm going to show you the back end of mine. And what I want to make sure that you know is that Sessions is not a lifetime deal, not at this time. But when it first came out, it was for a lifetime deal, which was really awesome because you're paying once to have access to all the things. So at the time, I think I picked up a level, I think it was a tier 3, because I wanted access to webhooks and some other things. What's up, George? I'm seeing some folks that are showing up. It's good to see you. Let me go ahead. I'm going to try to pull up my back office of Sessions, and I'll show you kind of how I have it set up. And I'll walk you through some of the features, the fun features, the things I love, and then some of the things, again, that I'm like, I'm waiting on some correction or some advancement in these areas. So let's talk about Sessions. Okay, so I'm pulling up the back end or the back office of my Sessions app. It is, like I mentioned, an AI-powered platform that makes meetings and webinars, as they say it, insanely productive. That's their words, not mine, but it has helped me with the productivity. It really has. So a couple of different things that are cool about this. One is that it gives you the opportunity to be able to create a booking calendar if you choose to do that. I have not created my own booking calendar necessarily in here, but I know a lot of people that do. I'll show you kind of how this can look. So let's see. If I copy that booking link, I think I set this up properly for you. Let's make sure we put the right info in there. Okay. Yep, there we go. So look, so I created this calendar so that people, and David, the first app, I'll go back to that in just a second for you. But the 30-minute strategy session that I've set up in here, people can actually, it's linked or synced to my Google Apps so that it shows only if there's not a conflict with something that's on my Google Calendar. So it will offer different appointments. And when someone sets up an appointment in time, I can have them put their information right here, schedule the session, and then they get booked. The other thing it allows me to do, if I didn't want to use it for that purpose, is I actually can create instant sessions. So I can create a session that starts right now, right in this moment. I can create events. I can create a room. So I'm going to explain really quickly all 4 of these things and let you know what I'm doing here. So for me, it's really important that I create a well-branded experience for folks. So for me, when I am anything that I create, whether it's Go Brunch Rooms, which, by the way, we have an event coming up, so I'll make sure to get you the events link. Go Brunch Rooms, if it's my meeting rooms like this, wherever I am participating in a virtual space, I want it to be branded in such a way that people really get my vibe. Like, I want to have branded colors. I want to have my logo somewhere, subtle, not over the top. I want to give people an experience of what it's like to work with me. Like, I'm a chill type of chick, right? So the spaces that I'm going to create and the experience that I want to create is going to be pretty laid back. And maybe this is not you. I'm just sharing with you what's possible when you create these type of spaces. So what I loved or was attracted to about sessions is that it gave me the opportunity to further brand, my rooms and my meetings similarly to other spaces that I create. So let's check this out, and I'm going to show you the back end of it. And thank you for that comment. Let me pull up a few comments before we go back in there and say hello to some folks. So first of all, George, it's good to see you. I see David Hunt in the house. What's up, fam? The first app that we talked about in the other episode, that one was, what was it? MVO, MINVO. Let's see what else we got. Erica said, nice room. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Radiance by Ratilia said, I loved your in-depth overview of sessions on sessions. That's right, because you were there with me. Yes. So we had a good time hanging out in sessions, talking about sessions and something that we call Content Hacks Day. All right, so I'm going to go back over here and let's take a look at the back end of session. So let's say that we decide we want to schedule a session for later. When we do this, we're going to be able to create this session from scratch. So I'm going to just say test. Actually, what I'll do is say demo. I can't type today. Demo, and I'm just going to put change this later. And let's pretend that we're going to set up a meeting for, let's say tomorrow. Okay. And we're going to do it for, I don't know, for 9 a.m. So this is me just manually creating one. Okay. But someone can book through your calendar if you set that up. I'm going to make sure that it's on my time, but it's going to show in their time zone for their computer, however the computer's set. And I can even add email reminders. And as of late, you can also now add SMS. So you can have text reminders if you connect your Twilio account. Okay. So you do have the capability of being able to do that too. Okay. So you can add participants and invite them to this meeting you're setting up. You can create an agenda, or you can select from an agenda that you already have created. So I'm going to say, for instance, let me just put in my training day standard agenda, and it breaks it down into however I've set up my training day assignments, right? So that I have 10 minutes for check-in, so on and so forth, whatever that might look like for you. I'm going to look through all of these different options and update these to fit my taste. Automation, I typically will not automatically record or automatically transcribe because I personally like to tell people what I'm going to be doing, and I don't want to start it too early before I've let them know. And it will give them a pop-up that will say, hey, recording has started and transcription has started. But let's schedule this so you can see what I'm talking about here. So now notice it's pulled over my branded cover, but to your question, Michelle, you asked about, can you brand more than one background? Well, actually within this space, I can actually change this to a different background if I choose to do that. Okay. And this is not changing my entire sessions app or platform or workspace, because you're doing it by workspace. But now I have this page, and when I'm ready, I can copy that session link. I can send it to people who might have missed the invitation, and they're able to join in. So this will be the description. The opportunity for them to join in won't start until it's closer to time. I can start the session when I'm ready, and they'll be able to join in. Otherwise, they're in a back office. So all of this is beautifully designed. It's in a way you can make it whatever you want to make it. And there's a whole bunch more, y'all, that I won't even have time to cover in this episode. But I will tell you that you have the opportunity to actually be able to bring in and embed different types of tools. There is so much. Oh, that's something I wanted to show you. So let's act like we're actually starting a session. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to actually go into one of my dedicated rooms. This is a thing that I love, because if you are using another tool, let's say you're using some type of calendaring tool that you love, or you're using Go High Level, or whatever it is you're using, and you want to consistently use a dedicated link for specific types of meetings. Well, you can create those meetings using rooms. And so you can create your own very specific link. And that way, when you are ready to set up that meeting, you can just use that room link over and over again. You still have the ability to be able to control who comes into the space and who can get in versus who can't, and to set an access code if you need to do that. Okay, let me go into this demo room. So here's my demo room, right? And in this space, I just have my OBSBot. My Tiny 2 is on low, so it doesn't distract from the video here. But what you'll see when I join is now I'm here. And if other people are actually joining in on this space, it's going to open up similar to like a Zoom room. And so you'll see a gallery view, or you can do a spotlight view. You can do all the same things. Most of us are used to Zoom, so that's why I'm making the comparison. You can also down here on the bottom where my face is covering it up, sorry. But down here, there are a lot of different features. So I'll just share with you, you use your chat. You can have a Q&A option, and in the Q&A option in that space, when people are asking questions, you can pop their question up on screen if they're asking them in the Q&A area. There's also a notes app, and AI will allow you to transcribe the whole entire recording and then create takeaways. It can summarize into takeaways, bulleted items that you then can use for people in what's called a memory. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So if you go to a memory for an event, what you'll find is that you're able to, let's see, we'll go into this one. What you'll find is that you're able to go and play the recording from right in here, okay? And you can actually share this recording link. Anyone with the link can view, or you can say, hey, I want attendees only, or just moderators can view this. So when you're doing an event, which is where I'll end with this particular app, when you're doing an event and you're sharing a webinar or a workshop, you can set it to where people will automatically get access to the replay. Now, one thing that I think is really cool that they're getting ready to implement in sessions, at least they talked about this in their recent town hall, is they're also going to give you the ability to actually set up evergreen webinars. So that's on the roadmap for sessions too. How cool is that? I will love that option, because then if I create an event here, and you'll see what this looks like. Let me show you kind of what that looks like. When you create an event, the difference between an event and a regular session is that the event can actually have a page, a registration page, that looks a lot like those really fun landing pages and registration pages. And look, I'm going to go over here to another workspace that I have for Stream Bosses Academy, and I'll show you this event. So I'm keeping those separate, right? And I have this webinar that I did. Actually, that's not what I'm trying to go to. Let's see. Go there. If I had created an event that's coming up, I could list it. And right here, when I click on View Workspace Events, it's going to be listed on its own page. So if you want to do all your events inside of sessions, get this, don't miss this, then you can have a whole list of things that will show up right here on this page that you can then use a short link to point to and have people just go sign up for all your webinars coming up for the next month. Now it's time for me to tell you what I don't love, okay? Because I do love this part, and I'll show you, for instance, look how you can make these. These are beautiful. I mean, like, you can brand these according to however you want them branded, okay? So that people can sign up and be a part of that event. And let's see, I'll show you where. I think I can list it right there. This is what I was trying to show you earlier. I can't show it. Thank you for that comment. I know. If I listed it, I don't know why it's not showing in the workspace. There it is. Boom. This is what I was talking about. Okay, all I had to do was turn it on. So if you have public events where you're wanting people to actually sign up for your different webinars, you can have them all listed here and just send people to this page, to your specific page for your events, and then they can just sign up for all of them. Now, okay, let me go into what I'm not loving, and this is something that I think is important for you to know. One of the things that I really hope that they will work on is, and they say they are, okay, I just don't know the timing, but I'm hearing it could be within the next couple of weeks, is I want to be able to charge people for events too. So I want to have free and paid events. Today, if you want to do paid events using your sessions platform, you need to use a different app. So a different shopping cart app or whatever you might choose to use. And you need to integrate it either using Zapier, Pabbly, webhooks, right? So depending on the plan you have, you may or may not have access to be able to make those connections. And I do want those connections because I also want to be able to leverage when people are actually signing up for different events in sessions. I want to also then be able to communicate with them through my newsletter and through additional, follow-up updates and nurture them in an email sequence. So having that integration option is going to be really key. Now, there's a whole lot more that I haven't even touched on at all with sessions, but I will tell you, given what I just shared with you, there is so much that you can do with this. So let me kind of run a breakdown of the key things that I like about it. What I really like about sessions is that you have almost an all-in-one scheduling platform. So you've got the booking calendar, you've got the instant sessions, you've got the dedicated room links that you can create, and you can create webinars in there. And once they get that evergreen webinar thing going, that's going to be awesome because you create it once and then you have it set up for people to come in and sign in through the registration process, and it's all in one place. I do like that it's a Zoom substitute. I like the AI transcription option. I like the ability to be able to give people access to notes, which I didn't really touch on a lot. But if someone's in a meeting with you in your sessions app, their notes, even if you've got 10 people and all 10 of them are doing different, they're writing different notes inside of the app, only they can see their notes and they can send them to themselves. So I can send my notes to myself. You can send your notes to yourself about the meeting. This is great for coaches. This is great for anybody who's doing course creation. This is great for people who are speakers. This is great for anyone who's having meetings with your teams. I think there are lots and lots of options and opportunities with this. It's great for community. The community that they have for sessions and their support, I think is really, it's good. It's a lot better than what I'm seeing with some of the other apps that have rolled out. And I think that they're going to continue to get better as their team grows because they've had a lot of demand and a lot of growth in a short amount of time. What I don't love, the downsides, are that they have had some periodic glitches with the recording. I don't love that the resolution of the replay is not, in my mind, and I know because I do video all the time, it's not super great. It may, like I said, get to maybe 720, but it's not going beyond that as far as the resolution. And sometimes it's been a little blurry even beyond 720 or lower than 720. So I know that that can depend on a lot of different factors, but I typically have pretty clear video and I've got great internet where I am. So that shouldn't be an issue for me. And I have seen it be an issue at times. And then finally, actually, I think that's all I have for disadvantages, which is not much. Yeah, let me pop up a few comments and see if there's any questions here. So I answered the question that Michelle asked about, have they given you the ability to brand more than one background? So you can brand that page where you're creating a session, but as of this moment, I believe when you brand your workspace, that brand that you've put together for your workspace remains the same. But again, you can go in and manually change your rooms if you choose to do that. Debbie, I hope you do come back and catch the replay. No problem. I'm going to be here for a minute because I still have 2 more to do. So I'm about to do that in just a second. I'm heading into the next one. I love the notes feature. Me too. It's one of my favorite things. And then I saw Erica's note. I'm really considering not renewing. Look, I haven't renewed mine and it's been months now. So yeah, there have been times where I suffered and I kind of thought, maybe I need to go back. But in the end, this has been fantastic. It's worked out very well for me. So hopefully it'll work out for you. If you're interested in taking a look at it, take a look at sessions. Right there's my link, tanyas.link/sessions, or just scan the QR code and it should take you right to them. I believe that gives you a percentage off for your first month. So definitely check it out and see if you can get a discount using my code right there on the screen. Okay, that's all I've got for sessions. And I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of our show. This is our App Therapy Club episode for our podcast. And we're going to see you next time. Okay, folks, moving through this list, we got two more. Okay, so Marky is going to be pretty fast. Castmagic, I'm going to stay as long as you all need me to. But I do want to get some sleep too. Because Castmagic is bomb. I do want to spend a little time on that. But Marky, I want to talk a little bit about for a few minutes because I think that it's worth a peek. If you're thinking about another lifetime deal app, Marky has a lifetime deal right now that I'm going to show you in the system. So I'm pulling that one up to go into session number 3 or segment number 3. And man, I could do this all night because there were 2 other platforms that I was really tempted. I was like, maybe I can squeeze 2 more in. But seeing how much time has passed, that's a no. We won't do that tonight. But just know that I will continue to record for my App Therapy podcast, and it will have more app reviews to help you to be more productive in whatever you're doing and more efficient and streamlined in your everyday activities. So let's take a look real quick here. I'm getting out of sessions windows. I'm going into Marky so you can see what Marky looks like. And we just got one more after that. Okay, so Marky, let's pull that up. And I want to show you their homepage. Okay, so I'll start with that. And if you got to go, don't worry. You can come back and catch the replay. All I want to make sure you do, though, is to hit that like button. So if this has been helpful at all, please remember to hit like and subscribe if you're not already a follower of our channel. Okay, let's dive into Marky next. And what I'm going to do is move a couple of screens around here so that I can make sure I have them up. Where's my Marky? There it is. Okay. I tried to organize as best I could ahead of time. I think I did pretty good. All right, here we go. Are y'all ready? We're going to count down, and it's 3, 2. All right, everybody, I want to welcome you back. And this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about Marky. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Marky is another tool that I found that is an AI, an artificial intelligence tool that allows you to create social media posts pretty quickly. And I honestly, at first was kind of like, oh, Lord, not another social media post creator. No. But as I looked more into it and saw that it was on AppSumo for a lifetime deal, I thought, let me check it out and let's just see what it can do. So if you want to go check out Marky, here's my link, but I'm also going to show you a quick demo so that you know exactly what the ins and outs are. I want to give you some advantages and disadvantages of using this particular tool. It's still fairly new from what I can tell. I haven't done my homework yet on the founders and where they're located and how long they've been in business, but I can tell you just from the UI, from the interface they've created, that it's the beginnings of something good. So I do want to show you the back end of it, but first, let's go and explore the homepage. So this is Marky, and on the Marky page, mymarky.ai is the main page, and they say here 30 days of content in 5 minutes, right? And they also make this claim that our posts get 3.4 times the engagement of industry standards. And then it gives you the option of putting in a link to your brand website. Well, I'm going to show you what that can do in just a minute, but let's look a little bit more at what they've got going on. So the integrations that they have available: Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, and Google Business. So there are some of the hot platforms that it does integrate with. I am going to show you something that I'm not really a fan of in just a second, but I do love the ease and how fast this thing can work. I also like a couple of other things as it relates to the branding aspect of it. So I'm going to show you the back end of this in just a second. But this is Marky, and it is an AI tool that will allow you to create social media posts. So let me go on into the back end of my Marky here. And if you've got questions, go ahead and make sure you ask those in the chat. Yes, it would be great if you put a Q before it, but I always forget to ask people to do that. So I will scroll through and find out if you've got questions. I won't miss it, at least to the best of my ability. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my Marky back office so that you can see what this looks like. And let's do our screen share right there. Okay, here we are. So we're in the back end of Marky, and you'll notice that already I've got some things that are going on that it's created for me, some posts, okay? It's super simple, so there's a lot of white space, which I do like with apps and platforms. I like that because that makes it easier for me to get in quickly and get out, like do what I need to do and move on. Okay, now you already noticed probably something that I'm not a big fan of, because sometimes it duplicates similar posts or it duplicates post content. And that's one thing they've got to work on. But I'm going to show you something that I loved and was blown away by. So when I first opened up an account and I created my little workspace, right, I added a new business. It asked me information. It took me through a short form, a questionnaire where I put my information in about my business and what I'm all about, and, you know, what the business is for, who it's targeting, etc. And then this is what it did. Created this business summary section, right? And it has the information that I fed it, and it includes even things like the tone of voice, the core values of my business, where it's located, social handles, calls to action I want to use. And then it took in writing samples of my own writing so that it could learn how I want to speak in my captions. Hey, that's pretty revolutionary for some of these social platforms. I don't see that all the time. So here's what I actually also loved is that it pulled from that content that I fed it. It created content topics. So it said, hey, we think based on what you say you talk about, these are your hot content topics that we're going to pull into your social post. So the power of live stream marketing. Yeah. Simplifying content creation. Engaging ideal clients, and so on and so forth. So it pulled these topics, but I could add new topics if I wanted to. I could delete anything that I thought that's not really me. But really, it pretty much hit the mark. So it's using this information, and AI is creating the actual post. The other thing you can do is you can go into the branding area. You can change up your brand colors, the background colors, and the text. You can also decide which fonts you want to use for your post. Additionally, it gives you the ability to be able to choose different types of themes. So meme themes, a minimalist theme, just an image by itself. Here, I'm going to select a couple of different things that I don't have selected, right? So it gives you these options for different themes. And then once you've saved all of this, when you go to post, it's going to generate posts based on what you selected, okay? So it's giving me ideas for posts, and I'm going to just take a look at this one. So what I thought would make me stand out: a flashy website, tons of social media followers, high-end video equipment, versus what actually makes me stand out is authentic storytelling, consistent value in my videos, and real connections with my audience. Stream like a boss TV. It's pulling this together based on those business topics and the brand that I've put together, that I've fed it. What I said I'm about is creating these social posts from that. Now, besides that, it's also giving me captions. And the cool thing about this is that it now gives you, at first it didn't when I first picked it up, gives you the ability to be able to go in here and modify the caption if you choose to do that. So if you don't like what they wrote, you want to change it yourself, you can do that. If you want to change up the font over here, you can do that. You can change the color of your font. You can change the background color of your scene. You can use your branded colors or something else if you choose to. You can add a new logo, add another image right here where the square is. So there's all kinds of really cool stuff that you can do with this. And that I love. I love that it's giving me that option. So look, I'm going to make that into a whole different post and save it and close it, right? And so now I know, right, Valerie? And so now, because it's pulling information that is about what I'm about, I don't have to think as hard. Oh, there's something I wanted to show you too. If you are, when you're changing up your business information, which you can go in here and change, if you want to edit something in here, you can do that. And you can tell it, hey, I want my self-promotion to be lower. Or I want it to be high. I want you to do a bunch of like promotional, salesy socials, right? So maybe if you have a launch or something, you want to change it to that. Maybe if you don't and you're just doing random, posts that still are relevant to your audience and to your brand, you can make it low. But I did want to show you that too. Now, once you have actually got your posts together and you've chosen the ones that you want to keep, by the way, it does carousels as well. You choose the one that you want to keep. You can either schedule it to post right now, or you can say, hey, I want you to post next. So next in the schedule. So here's your schedule. I haven't scheduled anything in here, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But you can actually publish to the different socials that you've connected it to. So over here is where you're going to connect your socials. So look, I think this is really excellent if you're trying to come up with quick and simple social media content that is relevant to your brand and what you do. I still think that there is an opportunity, however, because some of this stuff, the branding is, I just don't love it. I would like to have at least one more color option in the palette versus just the 3. I think that they are doing well with giving you options and variety for your fonts. I do want them to have more options. When you're generating posts, sometimes I've seen duplicates, as you saw probably when I scrolled through originally. I do like the memes because they're usually pretty appropriate and funny, like this one right here. And I never use memes because I can never find the right one, just like I never tell jokes because I always forget the punchline. So I love that they would create some cool memes for me, right inside of this app. But you just need to make sure you're reading the caption, and you need to make sure that you're doing due diligence, right? To ensure that the memes that they're creating are right for you and for your brand. But Marky is pretty cool. I think it's worth a look. If you haven't already taken a look, it's going to be up only for a short amount of time. I think that they are up for a few more days. Let me double check for you, and I can tell you this is over on AppSumo right now at the time of this recording. So if you miss it, don't say I didn't tell you, because I tried. I'm going to pop it up for you so you can see it on AppSumo. Here it is. Marky is on AppSumo for 12 more days. So the countdown is on. That means they're serious and it's about to go away. But that is there for $59. Again, 5-star rating. The reviews are very good. I think they're going to continue to improve because they've even added features in the short time that I've had this. I would definitely take a look at either license tier 1 or license tier 2. License tier 2 is for $159, I think. Let me look at that real quick. $139. License tier 1 is $59. The reason I chose license tier 2 is because I wanted it for more brands. But to be honest with you, y'all, I may not use tier 2. I may go back to tier 1, and here's why. I didn't say the thing I didn't like. Here's what I don't necessarily love. Wait, I got to pop this comment up. App Therapy Club. I know. I'm helping you think through strategically and, in a smart way about what apps to use. I'm telling you, don't go to tier 2 if you don't need it. But let me show you something on Marky that is not my favorite. However, maybe it'll get better. This is for planning purposes. If you are inside of Marky and you're going to do the whole scheduling thing, you say, yeah, I want to schedule it. If you've got more than, oops, I didn't mean to schedule that, but it's okay. If I had all my different connections, which I did at one point, if I had all of these connected, when I get ready to schedule, it schedules everything at one time. So that post goes to all the socials. If I said 9:30 is the next one, all the socials at 9:30 on Tuesday. And I need things to be varied a bit. And even though it talks about varying posting, what I noticed is that it literally sent everything just about at the same time. And I don't want to send the same post to all of these pages at the same time. It's just not something I want to do. Yeah. So I would say this would be the one thing. A second thing would be that I do, like I mentioned earlier, I want some more color palettes available to me. I want to make sure that I'm not getting duplicates when it comes to some of this content. The images may be duplicates, even if the caption is different. So I want them to work on that. I also don't love some of the stock photos that they're choosing. So I absolutely, every single time, would be going in here to change those. So that is why I'm not so sure that I need tier 2. I think tier 1 may be sufficient, so I may downgrade, but right now I'm at tier 2, in case you're wondering, because I always get that question. Okay, so I hope that this helps. This is Marky. So I can download and use my own scheduler. Okay, let me pop up your question, Valerie, because I want to make sure to address that. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Yes, you absolutely can. So let me go back to screen share and I'm going to show you where you can do that. So right here, when you have a post that you found that you like, once you've gotten it to where you want it to be, you can click on the little, where is it? Right here. I can click on drafts. I can go into drafts and say, okay, yeah, I want this one. And see right here where it says download post. I can either download them into a CSV sheet so that it has the captions too, or I can download the image itself and just create my own caption if I want to do that. So yeah, you do have the ability to be able to do that too. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So that, my friends, is Marky. I hope you have enjoyed our little review of Marky. If you're interested in taking a look at it, definitely go out and grab it. If you can get the lifetime deal, that would be ideal. So go to AS Marky. That's Tanya's.link/AS for AppSumo-Marky. And you'll be able to find it, or just scan the QR code that you see on the video. And that will take you directly to the AppSumo page. But you better do it before the clock runs out, or else you're going to miss out on the lifetime deal, and you'll have to consider paying the subscription price if you really, really want it. But the key things that I do like about that particular platform are that it gives you the ability to be able to really upload your own branded information, your topics, and it pulls pretty accurately ideas for social media captions and posts. So even if I didn't want to use their images, I certainly can use some of the content to create my own images elsewhere, like in Canva or Adobe, and just mirror it, but still with better brand for me, because visual is everything in my mind. But look, if you're in a hurry and you just want to create some stuff, this one is definitely right for you. You can certainly use the post as they have them, and this still would hit the mark as long as you're entering the information about your business and who you are accurately, and you're checking it and vetting it to make sure that it's aligned. I think that could be gold. All right. I hope you enjoyed this one on Marky, and that's it for this episode. And we're going into our final run, y'all. We're getting ready to finish this thing up. The last one on the list of apps. For those of you who have hung out all this time with me, I just want to say kudos. Kudos to you. Thank you for hanging out. Congratulations on lasting this long. Hopefully, if you've gotten yourself something to drink, I need to take a quick sip before we go into this last one. This last one is my favorite. So it is not an AppSumo deal at this time. Sadly, it was, but you missed out on that. However, it is an amazing tool for content flow. It's called Castmagic. And Castmagic, we did have Greg on. It's been several weeks now, but it's still on my YouTube channel. It's back in the replays for any of the channels where you're watching from. You will find that information, and it's awesome. So here we go with Castmagic. And after I'm done with Castmagic, this is going to be a wrap. That will be 4 episodes that I can then chunk down. For those of you who have come in a little bit later, what I'm doing is I am batch content creating with a live studio audience. Yes, we're doing the thing. We're doing it, y'all. This is something I just had a bug in my bonnet. I was like, I woke up and said, maybe I could just do my batch content creation on my live stream day. That'll work. Okay, so here we go. If you do have questions about anything I've been talking about, I am here. So this is still a live stream, and I'm happy to answer your questions or to share thoughts. If you've got thoughts, I want to hear your thoughts too about any of the apps that we've talked about so far. I'm going to go into Castmagic next. Hopefully I don't lose my voice all the way, but we're going to do that next. Let me move everything else out of the way and pull up our Castmagic pages so we can have those ready for you. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay. I know, Michelle. Michelle said, girl, look, I know it may be bedtime for some of y'all, so if you need to opt out, no worries. I'm going to have this replay. I'm going to produce each of these sections, and it will be part of our App Therapy Club podcast. So you'll be able to listen to it if you want to do that. Or you can go back and watch a shorter, more condensed version of each of these. Okay, so I'm pulling up on Castmagic. She has a note of, you have a whole log of questions for Creator Day. Okay. So look, if you don't know this already, let me say this really fast. On our Creator Day, inside of our Stream Bosses Academy, I'm trying to move myself real quick here. Where am I? For Stream Bosses Academy, and first of all, let me say this for anybody who's just coming in. If you are interested in attending any of our free webinars and events, or our paid events too, feel free to go to streamlikeaboss.tv/events, and you will see what we have coming up. I have a really exciting Go Brunch tour that's going to be taking place on next Friday, the 26th. I'm going to have Richard Lowenthal. He's going to be awesome. He's the founder of Go Brunch. He's sitting in with me. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. But he's coming, and he's going to help me to do a virtual tour of our rooms that we use for our Content Creators Cafe. This cafe is part of our Stream Bosses Academy. It's one of the perks that you get access to be able to do virtual co-working. So we co-work together at least 2, sometimes 3 times a month. And in addition to that, you can use the rooms on your own if you choose to do that for co-working. When I tell you that, like, we have a meditation room, we've got spaces that we've created just for you, especially if you're a part-time coach, creator, somebody who's super busy and juggling 1,000 things, but you can't find the time to get things done. I've created spaces for you to do the things that you need to get done. So just wanted to let you know, Go Brunch, we're going to be doing that event coming up. So check it out at streamlikeaboss.tv/events and get hooked in. I will, on that page, every month update what we have coming up for the month. And so we do have some evergreen webinars that are posted there. Also in the site, you'll see a resources page. This is all brand new, by the way. Within the last week, we launched this. Check it out, find free resources, get attached to our paid programs, like be a part of it, and hopefully you can learn more than even what you're learning tonight. Okay. Let's finish this thing up with Castmagic. So here we go on our Castmagic binge. And once we do that, that's going to be our last one to go. Okay. And my favorite. I'm ending with my favorite. All right, y'all, we're going to talk a little bit about Castmagic, which is a workflow machine It's a content creation machine. It is something that I use in almost every single part of my video content creation. And one of the things that I absolutely love about Castmagic is that I can do just about everything I need to do when I'm repurposing, whether it's related to meetings that I have with my coaching clients, podcasts, all kinds of stuff right inside of this platform. It is basically a tool that allows you to take either video or audio content and it transcribes it into text that then can be reformatted into other functions. So I'm definitely going to show you a demo of this in just a second. One of the things that I absolutely love about it is they do have a thriving community. The folks that are on the Slack community for Castmagic are always talking. They're constant office hours. You can meet anytime with Greg, and he's going to talk with you about specifics if there's something you're missing in using Castmagic. Look, this is what he was able to do for me not that long ago. He came here on the show. We came on the show actually for Stream Like a Boss TV several weeks back and just blew all of our minds with all the stuff that it could do. I didn't even know I wasn't using it effectively. So I got to show you the back end. But first, let's do a deep dive into the home page. So here's the home page for Castmagic. And Castmagic, as it says, turns conversations into content like magic. And it uses AI to do just that. So I am noticing that they are definitely growing. There's so many more people that are using this now. I'm starting to hear more about them at different conferences and workshops and events. As a matter of fact, Ecamm Live has an event that's going to be coming up very soon. That's also on my events page, by the way. And Castmagic will be one of the presentations that you'll get to hear about and learn more about directly from their mouth. So look at that, turn one media file into 100 content assets. Pretty much everything that they're saying they can do, they can do. I've seen it for myself. I've been using it practically every day. Actually, I think it has been every day. But here where they talk about podcasts, YouTube, meetings, coaching, sales, customer research, you name it, you can do it with Castmagic. I love how it makes my workflow so much easier. And I'm just going to touch the tip of the iceberg with it when I show you the back end of mine. So castmagic.io. And thank you for asking that, Wayne. Let me pop up my QR code one more time. Here it is. So Castmagic. Now, when I originally bought this, it was on sale for AppSumo lifetime deal. So the ones that I tend to talk about on this show, when I talk about lifetime deals, y'all, I try to give you, if there's a deadline or a timeline or a countdown, I try to tell you so you don't miss out. This one, if you missed out, you really missed out because they literally have done nothing but add new features constantly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start it off in daytime mode. I'll show it in light mode at first. And I'll also show you that they just recently launched or opened up a dark mode for those who like to work in dark mode too. You're so welcome, Wayne. Not a problem at all. I love it. I love to shout people out and to acknowledge that you're here because I appreciate you. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm showing you my screen right now. So this is the back end of my Castmagic. So here's what I want to show you, a couple of different things about the space. First of all, you can create multiple workspaces. So notice how it says My Space right there. And by the way, I'm about to max this thing out because I do have the lifetime version. They gave us additional options and perks to be able to buy more minutes per month at a really super low value. So that's why this pop-up is here. You may not see that on your screen if you don't have lifetime. Okay, but over here on the left-hand sidebar, you'll notice that there's multiple spaces you can create. And so I have one for my Stream Like a Boss TV channel. Notice it is actually automatically sequentially assigning numbers for every episode. Because when I'm done with this live stream and I upload, I import my video using a YouTube link, or I could import the video or audio if I wanted to do it this way, or I could submit an RSS feed. So as I'm creating content, if I'm doing so, for instance, in a podcast that has an RSS feed, I can simply submit the RSS feed, and every single time I have new content coming into that feed, it is uploading into my media library. But once I've done that, what I love is that it automatically is assigning by sequential order. So it's saying, oh, you're on season 3, episode 162. And it adds that in here. A couple of other things that you'll see that I have over here. I have a podcast. So my App Therapy Club podcast is here. My podcast called The Wrap is here. I've got courses and webinars that I'm going to be adding in here. I've got calls from our Stream Bosses Academy. So when we do our training day calls, I transcribe those and turn those into content, and so on and so forth. So you can create new spaces. And when you create that new space, watch this. When you create the new space, you can tell it how you want to automate the sequential order. So do you want it to just be freeform where you add your own label? Do you want it to do a season with an episode number? So on and so forth. You can tell it what language to specify, what language your transcriptions will be in, and you can give it specific words that you use all the time. So for instance, I might put stream boss or stream like a boss in here as a magic word. And then when I save the context prompt, that is simply a sample of my own writing, the way that I write or speak. I might put a sample in here to help the AI to learn how to basically transcribe it in a way that or transcribe the content that's coming afterwards, which I'll show you in a second, in a way that I would speak. Okay. So I'm just going to save this space just so you can kind of see what happens next. So when you do that and you create this new space, you can assign it depending on the type of profile you want to create. So do you want to create a YouTube channel profile? Do you want a podcast? Do you want to do this for meetings? Meetings? Do you want to do this for coaching? Is it for customer discovery, courses and webinars? What are you doing this? What is this space going to incorporate? What are you including? What type of content? The reason why this is relevant is because the prompts will be different. So watch this. The prompts are different depending on the profile that you set. That is pretty cool. So look at that sales call. Oh, you want budget and buying process. Now, mind you, whatever the prompts are that it automatically populates with, you can change those later. So you're just going to start by choosing what type of profile you want. And then you're going to tell it, hey, I want to, remove or add new prompts. Okay. So I'm going to show you, for instance, I'm going to get out of that and I'll remove that test later. There's something else that I wanted to show you in here. So let's pull up one where I have multiple guests. Let's see. I'm going to pull up my friend Liz because Liz is on Survivor, y'all. You need to be cheering her on just in case you haven't seen her on the Survivor episodes. She's in the season right now that's going on. She's in there. So she and I spoke not that long ago. She did a video or a call with me. Take a look at this. It's got the video right there that was taken out of my YouTube so it can be synced to the transcript. So I can have that popped up and rolling as I'm going through the transcript and pulling certain segments. So if I wanted to look at that, copy a certain selection, I could actually clip that media and I can move it into a studio, which I'm not loving that yet. So remember, I told you I would tell you what I love and what I don't love. What I love is just about everything about this, but there's one thing I don't necessarily love. So let's say that I'm doing prompts because this is part of my Stream Like a Boss TV channel. So the prompts that I have, and I'm going to move this out of the way. The prompts that I have, I'm going to collapse them all. These are the ones that I commonly will use so that when I'm done with my live stream video, I now can go in here and find alternative titles that I can use for that video. I've got an alternative YouTube description so I can say, hey, let me put this in there in place of what I originally had. I'm going to use this with just a little bit of edits. I can modify the way that they have actually created the prompt and tell it, hey, be more serious, be more casual, make it shorter, make it larger or longer rather. I can do all kinds of stuff with this, but these are prompts that are a part of what I chose when I set up the content profile. Or I may have also told it, hey, I want to add some additional prompts, which is what I did right here with the social carousel. So now I can go use this information from my single episode and turn this into a carousel in Instagram. So I can use the text, right? And just convert this over in Canva or in Adobe, and now it becomes a part of a carousel. Or I could create a blog post, or I could use conversation starters and start a whole conversation after the show. Right? So this is really just amazing, all the things you can do. They even have a community prompt space. So if you want, go into Magic Chat, as they call it. Right here, you can actually add a prompt that is specific to that episode. Or you could say, hey, you know what? I really like that prompt that I created. I'm going to do something more. I want to use this prompt that I created with every other thing I use in all of my workspaces. Or I'm going to use one of the community prompts that's already been saved. So now, 2 things that are on my wish list for Castmagic. Remember I said I would give you a breakdown of things I love and things I don't love. The community prompts I think are good. They're decent, but I want more. I've only seen 2 pages in the time that I've had it. So I would love to see more well thought out prompts be added to this library. So I think that would be super cool. Now, if you want your prompt featured, you can submit it right here. And maybe enough people haven't submitted theirs. I think I need to work on that. But I want more of these. And I also, at this time, don't love the studio feature yet. So here's studio, and it's fairly new. So I'm going to give them some grace on this. The studio feature has a quote card. And so you can pull a clip from what you just created. So if you go back into the Magic Chat, you can pull a clip, and then it can actually create this text-based image. But I don't love the look of this. I'm just saying. It's not my favorite yet. It says you can generate a color with AI, but it's not generating an image yet. And then you can just export it. So this part, they've got some ways to go, but once they get that thing down, I think that's going to be awesome, especially if they get additional quote information or clips that they can create here. And I think I was able to create something. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's say if we did this. Hold on. There we go. Studio. So see what it does? It can create an audiogram, it says. Again, don't love the style. Yeah, this is too elementary, as someone said in the comments. So that part, don't love it. But everything else, I absolutely love. There's one more thing I'm going to show you in here. By the way, I mentioned that they have scheduling for onboarding calls, and their Slack community is really invested. They're all vested in making sure that this thing works. I think one of the things I would encourage you to do if you take part in Castmagic, if you do join, be sure that you get connected on an onboarding call. Be sure that you join in on the town halls when they offer webinars, when they offer meetings. Be a part of those, because you will learn so much from other people who are using the system too. You would be amazed at how people are using this thing. So there's one other thing I wanted to show you that is super cool in here. Again, there's the link and there's the QR code. One more thing, and then we're going to wrap. That one thing is this. You can also use their iOS app. So they have an iPhone app where you can actually, some of you may know, I think it's called Audio Pen, and there are a couple of other apps that are similar to this. But if you use the app, what you have the capability of doing is simply pulling your phone up, speaking into the app, and then it transfers into your account. And you can do all the things that I just told you can do with the prompts and the Magic Chat, and create different content based on what you recorded onto your phone. How beautiful is that? It's super simple to do. So grab the app and use that. It is in test and beta mode, so I'm sure there's some improvements that will be coming, but frankly, it works fine for me right now. So the things that I've tested, I've really enjoyed. I love this for so many different reasons. I love it for the option of being able to transcribe my coaching calls and to send my coaching clients a page that has kind of a recap of some of the things we talked about, the high level points, key themes, action items. I love that you're able to actually, there is something called pages, which I won't go into now, but pages inside of Castmagic will pull together multiple recording content, and you can ask questions and generate content from crossover content that you have. So let's say, for instance, you've created 3 different workshops or webinars, and now you want to create a page that kind of highlights certain things that are covered in all 3 of those workshops. And that becomes a page now that has content that has combined the knowledge and the wisdom that you shared in all 3 of those different workshops. Is that crazy? Right? There is so much that you can do. How do you use the app? Let me pop this up really fast, and I'm going to answer this question for you. You can use it however you choose to, honestly, Michelle. So the question that Michelle asks is, how do you use the app? What are some examples? So using the app, you could do this. Let's say, for instance, you're on the go. Okay. You're not at your desktop and you have an idea for something that you want to create. You have an idea for your next podcast episode, or maybe you're creating your mini podcast using the app itself. And it's converting that information into text. It's converting it into show notes. It's giving you ideas for social media posts to promote that episode. You could do all of that on the app if you chose to do that. For me personally, I'm doing it for short notes. So for me, it is when I do have ideas of things that I want to make sure I capture. If it is a note or a thought that I have that I'm thinking, ooh, I want to turn this into a new course. This is what this is going to include. I want it to have these points, and make sure that now I have transcripted content that can be converted into other content that I can now turn into that course, or turn into a blog, or turn into something else. But you can use it however you want to. It's totally up to you. It's all whatever you have in your mind, whatever you want to create. Yeah, I'm so glad. Thank you for stopping in. You do need to stop in more often. I would love to see you. But yeah, I think, here, let me pop this note up too. The studio is a bit elementary for now, but knowing them, they're going to expand and make this thing really grow. So I can't wait to see what else they do with studio. Even though I don't love it right now today, I will. I'm sure I will, because I've loved everything else that they've implemented in the space. Look, the main thing about Castmagic is that it can truly become a critical part of your workflow. For me, when I'm done with my live streams and my podcast too, right? So with my podcast, I have the ability to be able to use that for show notes and to create simple social media posts that are leading people back to the podcast. For my live streams, I use that to be able to create the carousel, to create a short script for me to do a reel from, to create quotes, to pull out high-level quotes that came from my audience, or not my audience, but from my guests. So if I have guests on the show, it can pull quotes from them because it recognizes multiple speakers. We didn't get into all of that, but it can do so much. There's so many different things that you are able to do with Castmagic. So I highly recommend taking a look at that tool to see if that could really enhance your workflow as it relates to any type of video or audio media, because all you got to do is feed it with a link, with RSS feed, or upload it. And boom, there you go. It turns into transcripted text that can become anything you want it to be, just with the power of AI. So I hope you have learned a lot and enjoyed this episode. Let me pop that link up one more time for you. And that one is Castmagic. There's our QR code. If you're interested in taking it for a spin, going over to Castmagic, tanyas.link/Castmagic is where to go, or just scan the QR code and it will take you right there so that you can try it out. I would love, love, love to hear from any of you if you use this app. And let me do this. Thank you for showing up for this episode. We appreciate you. I hope you've enjoyed things. If you have questions at all about the Castmagic app, then let me know. Just reach out. I'm just a DM away. And have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, depending on when you're listening in or watching. Okay, y'all, let me answer Wayne's question. So this is what I'm going to share this for the folks who came in a little bit later so that you know exactly what I'm doing here. So what I've been doing tonight is I have been recording. You didn't miss out, Dave. Oh, David, you missed out on the Castmagic deal. Dang it. I know, the lifetime. Man, look, this is why y'all need to listen. Y'all need to come to my show. Thank you, Valerie. Look, I was here tonight because I wanted to make sure to do two things. One, I love being here with you. So my live stream on Thursday nights, it's like a gift to me, and I hope it's a gift to you as well. It warms my heart. It helps me to be able to really continue to serve in a way that I know that I can. And I love being able to share apps too. And so I have a podcast called App Therapy Club. My goal was to do some batch content recording in order to produce multiple episodes at one time, but I was not making the time to do it. I couldn't find the time in my week. So knowing that I had a little bit of a gap, because I actually was going to take off tonight from live stream, knowing that I had a little bit of a gap, I decided, let me just use that 1 hour, which is now turned into more than an hour. Let me use that time to go ahead and batch content record, and I'll have people live. And if they've got questions about this stuff, then I can answer those questions so that I could serve you in this way. And at the same time, share that some of these, two of the ones we talked about, are time sensitive so that you don't miss out on them. So we talked about Marky and MVO. Let me do this. I'm going to just do this before we close everything out. I will show you each one of the QR codes that we went through tonight. So first we did MVO. So MVO, this was the app where we talked about being able to take a longer form video and clipping it into short clips and having captions added and all kinds of other features. So background music, sending it to your phone, sending it to publish directly into your social platform. This thing I really, really like. So it could be a replacement or a substitute for apps like Opus or Content Fries or Video AI, which actually Video AI is still top of the pile for me right now. It's top of the heap. But MVO is a great alternative, and with it being a lifetime deal right now, I would say jump on it if you're looking for something like that. The second one we talked about was Marky. I think this was second. No, we talked about Sessions. We talked about Sessions second, and that is a meeting platform that can be a substitute for Zoom or Blue Jeans or similar platforms wherever you're doing meetings. And so Sessions app uses AI to transcribe your content as you're doing your recordings and your meetings. If you're doing events and webinars, you can use it for that purpose. It has a booking calendar. There's all kinds of fun features inside of Sessions. It has become my go-to for my meetings and for my live events that are not live streams. So definitely one for you to check out. That is not a lifetime deal. This one was a lifetime deal, but now it is on a subscription basis. But I think with this code that you see right here, you can get a 20% off. So definitely take a look when you go there, check and see if you're getting a discount through my link. The third one we did was Marky. And Marky, we talked about as a social media post creator. I like it for creating content ideas that are based on relevance to your business brand, your niche, what your values are, all of that kind of stuff, right? Your key topics. Oh, good. Thank you so much for that. So it does say 20% off. Yes. Hey, see, perks of watching, y'all. Perks of being a part of this channel and this family. Hey, stream like a boss. What?
Stream like a boss.
Come on with it. Okay, so Tanya's link as Marky is the Marky QR code is right there and the link is right there. And Marky is a social media content creator or a post creator. Still in the beginning stages, and you will see that if you go to their site and when you check out the posts that they create. But I love that it gives us options. I do love that. And then finally, we did Castmagic, and Castmagic is the content flow king. It is the king of all content flow when it comes to your podcast or your video content, because it takes audio and visual content and turns it into transcriptions that then turn into hundreds of thousands of other different things based on AI prompts that you use. So Absolutely love Castmagic. Can't say enough good things about it. Yes, they still have some things they can update and fix, but overall, it is one of the best tools I've invested in this year, and I'm super happy that I got it. So that's it, y'all. That's what I got. We've been doing the most tonight. Look, stay tuned, stay connected. Thank you so much for joining me and for staying and hanging on. Some of you I know had to pop out and pop back in, and that's all cool. I'm getting ready to pop out and just go relax and chill because that's what I do after my live stream. I need a little bit of downtime. But it was so much fun hanging out with you this evening. So thank you for listening, for watching. Stay tuned for the things we have coming up. Next week, we open the doors back up for Stream Bosses Academy. In addition to that, we also will have our Go Brunch event on Friday the 26th with Richard Lowenthal. He's going to come in and hang out and help me to introduce my brand new spaces that I have created, unique rooms for collaboration, co-working, power networking, you name it. So really excited about all the things that we're up to. And if you need help with video marketing, of course I'm here. So even if group coaching and a group membership is not for you, I do also offer private one-on-one coaching opportunities. I'm about to put out one that used to be highly popular. It's just it took a lot of my time, but it's called Level Up with Video. It is a 90-day coaching program, and I am going to make that available to at least 2, maybe 3 clients coming up in the very near future. Probably next week I'll open that up just to take on 3 clients. That will fill up the space that I have right now, and then I won't be able to take on any more one-on-ones for a little while, for at least the 90 days. So there you go. Thanks again for watching. Yes, I am going to chillax, Michelle. I hope that y'all have an amazing evening and an amazing weekend. We're celebrating. My father-in-law is turning 80, so we're really excited and thrilled and thankful that he's going to be 80 years old this weekend. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I hope you're doing something fun this weekend too. And I'll tell y'all this, but you can't tell him. He's not on social media, so he won't know. I'm going to make his house, look, it's going to be Google friendly. Like I'm going to give him the ability to be able to go in and say, hey, Google, turn on the lights. And hey, Google, do this, turn on the oven. So I'm doing some things and tweaking some things and converting his home into a smart home. He doesn't know this yet, but I think that's pretty cool for an 80-year-old. And maybe that will give him a little bit of ease, right? Even though he loves to still do all the things himself. Okay, that's enough of my talking. Have a good night, y'all, and I will see you next time in the stream. We don't usually go this long, but this was a special night, so I do appreciate your support and encouragement. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I'm checking a couple of things real quick to make sure we don't have any questions.